we get ready for the grand final for the second varsity 8 after we just saw Navy continue its winning streak in grand finals by taking the varsity 4. Lane assignments, Boston University in lane 1. They will be at the bottom of your picture. Navy will be in lane 2 right next to them, and right below Bucknell in lane 3. Once again, Bucknell and Georgetown in the middle of the river. Georgetown in lane 4. MIT and Lehigh will duke it out up in lanes 5 and 6. So the second varsity 8, and we'll introduce you to the Terriers. The coxswain is Tricia Jaggi, a sophomore from Seattle, Washington. The stroke seat, Tiara Hicks, a junior from Kensington, Maryland. In seat 7, it's Paris Burbine, a freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia. In seat 6, Mariana Forehand, a freshman from Seattle. In seat 5, Ellie Brindle, a freshman from High Wycombe in the United Kingdom. Charlotte Galuza is a sophomore from Concord, Massachusetts in seat 4 for the Terriers. Kylie Graves, one of the BU captains, is in seat 3. She's a senior from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. In seat 2, it's Anna DeChanceryder, a sophomore from Boston. And at the bow, it's Morgan Glynn, a junior from Middleton, Massachusetts. Right next to the Terriers are the mids. And Navy features the coxswain Ellie Perazzi, a sophomore from Tiburon, California. In the stroke seat, it's Sophia Ferguson, a junior from Edmond, Oklahoma. In seat 7, Amelia Snyder, a freshman from Montclair, New Jersey. Kelly Fields, a freshman from Westminster, Maryland, is in seat 6. In seat 5, it's Ellie Dabney, a junior from Greenwich, Connecticut. Seat 4, Noelle DeVenti, a freshman from Greenville, North Carolina. Bridget Welch, a sophomore from Greenville, Indiana, is in seat 3. In seat 2, Hannah Prince, a senior from Buffalo. And at the bow, it's Skylar Lotus, a senior from Littleton, Colorado. Bucknell is in lane 3, and their second varsity 8, which went 5-1 in duels this season. The cox is Ollie McDonald, a freshman from Napa, California. In the stroke seat, it's Georgia Lambrakis, a junior from Bedford Hills, New York. Chloe Segal, a junior from Stamford, Connecticut, in seat 7. In seat 6, it's Amanda Pennant, a sophomore from New Hope, Pennsylvania. Alina Kelly, a freshman from Oyster Bay, New York, is in seat 5. In seat 4, it's Jess Volchek, a senior from Gibsonia, Pennsylvania. In seat 3, Caroline Keating, a senior from Remondsburg, New York. In seat 2, Christina DeMola, junior from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. And at the bow, it's Annabelle Cayley, a sophomore from Monmouth Beach, New Jersey. Georgetown once again in lane 4. And the Hoyas have a cox of Sophia Cullinan, a junior from San Mateo, California. The stroke is Fiona Wardrop, a junior from Kenilworth, Illinois. Margot Ettinger is a sophomore from Rome, Italy. She is in seat 7. Hadley Winslow of Needham, Massachusetts, the freshman, is in seat 6. In seat 5, it's Lila Fremont-Smith, a freshman from New York City. In seat 4, it's Claudia Pagnazzi-Schwam, a senior from Mystic, Connecticut. In seat 2, Julia Ashton, a freshman from Albany, New York. Maya Van Bisen, a freshman from Rye, New York, is in seat 2. And at the bow, it's Ava Cagliostro, a senior from Bronxville, New York. In lane 5, MIT, which went 6-3 in duels in this boat over the course of the season. MIT features a cox, Aria Sansi, a first year from Princeton, New Jersey. Ella Gersak, a first year from Marietta, Georgia, is at the stroke seat. Claire Johnson, a sophomore from McLean, Virginia,
Boston
is in seat
University.
7. In seat 6, it's Emily Warren, a first year from Menlo Park, California.
Bucknell.
In seat 5, Charlotte Gump,
MIT.
a junior from Washington, D.C.
Georgetown.
Note that MIT is in
Colgate.
lane 4, not lane 5.
Attention.
Kelly Everett is in seat 4 for MIT, a senior from Leominster, Massachusetts. Jessica Arbuckle, a senior from Kutztown, Pennsylvania, in seat 3. Then it's Arina Kotimski, a junior from Westboro, Massachusetts, in seat 2. And in seat 1, it's Gabriela Aponte, a junior from Puerto Rico. And finally, up in lane 8 for Colgate, Anna Dewar is the cox. Abigail Lewis is in the stroke seat. Chloe Sakowski, a first year from Wayne, Pennsylvania, is in seat 7. Catherine French, a junior from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, in seat 6. In seat 5, it's Eileen McCleary, a sophomore from Newtown, Connecticut. Meredith Francis, a freshman from Pittsburgh, is in seat 4. Seat 3 belongs to Jessica Kaplan, a senior from Marlborough, New Jersey. In seat 2, it's Ella Sigenthaler, a sophomore from Mansfield, Ohio. And at the bow, it's Lainey Batonzos, a freshman from Dallas, Texas, as the early start belongs down at the bottom as we see Boston University out in front, followed closely by Navy and Bucknell.
Again, here are the lane assignments from closest to furthest. So it's Boston University right now with that lead, but Bucknell is doing a nice job of hanging on against Navy. And what is at stake here in this one? Well, what's at stake in the second varsity is 18 points are on the line. And obviously the 1V is going to be the most. That'll be our final race of the day, but already the penultimate race of what will be 12 total races here today. It's been an exciting day, and Boston University, boy, are they ever asserting themselves in the early going.
Yeah, much more than they did in the Varsity 4 race that we just saw a few moments ago, where they got off to a tough start, tried to make a comeback, but were unable to do so. And again, a note on the graphic you just saw, it's Colgate up in lane 6, Georgetown in lane 5, and MIT in lane 4. A couple of the lanes and assignments got changed around here on Championship Friday, but that is the correct lane assignment. And still Boston University trying to withstand a charge here from Navy. The Naval Academy has a lead over Bucknell by close to 3 seats at this point, and Bucknell leads by about half a boat over MIT, currently in 4th place. But BU has jumped out in front here in the first quarter plus of this race. The Terriers are looking to win this race, win this second Varsity 8 race for the first time since joining the Patriot League for competition back in 2014. They've won the Varsity 8 race 3 times in their history, but they have never won the Varsity 2, or the 2V, or the 4V, which of course Navy just won a few moments ago.
Well, and this is a great start for Boston University, led by Paris Burbine and Ellie Brindle, a couple of racers that were highlighted by head coach Madeline Davis-Tully, saying that each of those have been really adaptable and competitive rowers who are able to sit in different seats in different crews, and yet they always make a positive impact. So Burbine and Brindle are in seats 7 and 6 respectively as they head down the river here in Jersey.
And halfway through, the lead has grown, picking up a few more seats now. A 6-seat lead for BU, and a pace to finish this race at under 7 minutes. So pretty quick pace here for Boston University, but still a lot to go as Navy tries to eat back into the BU lead. It looks like they've already maybe picked up another seat, while the Mids have put open water between themselves and Bucknell up there in lane 3. And MIT has stayed tight, currently trailing by maybe 6 seats right now to the Bison there in the middle of the river. And then tight up in lanes 5 and 6 between Georgetown and Colgate.
This is a on-paper race that Boston University won by almost 7 seconds in the prelims over Navy. They were split up into different heats, so BU and Navy were running at different times. But Boston University won their heat over MIT by 18 seconds. And so here in this one, obviously, we're not seeing quite that kind of blowout, although Boston University and Navy are definitely stretching it out over the rest of the field.
BU close to leading by an entire boat length over the Mids, and you see the Mids are trying to frantically do what they can to catch up. Those two have put some distance between themselves and the next two, with Bucknell and MIT right now in a fight for second place. But this has been impressive what BU has done, but start to look at the effort here by Navy. It's beginning to pay off here as we get close to the 1,500-meter mark. Navy nearly had open water between themselves and BU, but they've been able to fight back and now steal a couple of seats on the Terriers.
And that stroke rate is right around 36, 37 for Navy, so no wonder that they're catching up. But is it sustainable? That is a big question over the final quarter of this race.
So much of the sport, Adam,
Navy,
is, of course, you're battling yourself, but you're also trying to take cues from what the competition is doing around you. And as You said that Navy upped its stroke rate to around 37. BU has done the same, and they've been able to stem some of that tide and maybe pick up another seat. Still a little too close for comfort, especially when you consider the pedigree that boat over there to these BU Terriers have over the left shoulder. What Navy has done in the Patriot League, Terriers are trying to do it here today.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this is going to be a battle of 1 and 2.
Georgetown,
What we're seeing
lane
a little
2.
bit away from there is Bucknell and MIT are battling for third place, and it seems like Bucknell has the slight edge still over the Engineers.
And the Terriers are really putting the hammer down as the finish line comes into view. It's going to take a big push here by Navy to overtake Boston University. Terriers last won the second varsity race when they were not competing in the Patriot League. This would be a first if they can do it here today. The bell is ringing, the crowd is getting excited, and the Terriers are a few strokes away from putting a 1 in the win column and snapping the long Navy win streak here at the Patriot League Championship. Navy trying to catch up down the end, but it will not matter. The Terriers will win the second varsity 8 for the first time in program history. And for the first time since 2018, Navy is defeated in a Patriot League rowing championship race. Bucknell crosses in third, followed by MIT. And then Georgetown next to come into the picture. The Hoyas appear to be in good position to finish in 5th place. Colgate comes into your picture after that. The Hoyas will finish in 5th place here. So Georgetown, they were 3rd when they last competed at the championships in 2019 in this race. They come in 5th place for this one, and Colgate rounds out the sextet as BU wins the second varsity 8 here in the grand final.